a good thing because AI is going to make a difference in the economy. If it doesn't make a difference in the economy and our lives, what's the use of AI? So, and now you're going away from 2020 and you're getting grounded in 2024. As I explained at the very outset, we have a situation where this year 2024, the world economy will grow slightly slower than it did in 2023. And even in 23, it was 3% below the global average from 1962 or 61 to 2022. So we are not going to feel great that this is a great year. But it's not a recession. But averages are averages. Some countries will do far better, some countries will do far worse. And if you look at Europe, I don't think the prognosis is very good. But they will struggle. Especially certain countries in Europe will struggle. The US, despite all the, pessimistic predictions, will coast along. It will grow less than the average of the world, but it will coast along. The problem is in China. In China, first of all, data is not reliable. I'm not saying that data of all other countries are reliable, but Chinese data is a bit opaque. But what is very clear is China is on a path which is very different from it had 5 years ago. And it is more like Mao's path, where Mao wanted a complete agrarian revolution, and he even got intellectual skill or pushed into farms to work as farmers and laborers rather than as professors and scientists. And also introduced this one family, one child policy because he wanted to cut down population. So these shortcuts resulted in major problems, and China had begun overcoming it. And suddenly Mr. Xi Jinping comes with his own agenda, where he says there'll be one country, one party, and one leader. The third party doesn't say, but it's a set of 3 ones is the foundation of his economic principles and political principles. There are many other countries where this one leader is happening, but that's not the point. The point is he is trying to control the economy and making people happy by uplifting the downtrodden, which is a good thing, making a larger middle class, but he's also beating down the rich and bring them down to become a spectrum which is all middle class. It's easier to control than a heterogeneous population. Now, in that effort to do that, he is ruining technology. He is ruining progress on many things, and today the economy is facing a slowdown. There are statistics coming out that things are improving, but as I said, unless you test it out over 2-3 years, we don't know whether the statistics are true or not. Japan is a very interesting country. After decades and decades and decades of recession and misery, the first time in 2023, the growth rate of the GDP, real GDP, was higher than the recession. So all of a sudden, now there is a feeling that things will change. So I had predicted that this will get reflected in the Japanese stock market, and that one can expect a 13-14% return, which is fantastic for a developed country on the stock market. Now, this is already beginning to happen. Although people are still writing off Japan, I'm telling you, Japan is going to be a very interesting country, both from the investment point of view as well as from the stock market, from the investment point of view as well as economic point of view. A lot of reforms will happen further, and Japan will be an interesting country to watch in 2024. Another country we could talk about is Indonesia. Indonesia is going to elections like we have. The election is probably just over, and it is expected to be a smooth transition to the next person who may be different from the present incumbent who's done a fantastic job. So they're expecting 5% growth, which is not bad, stable growth, and a lot of investments are getting into the country because of the kind of stability and the kind of reforms that have happened, and also because of the China 1+1 policy. You see, India is also benefiting from the China +1 policy of various companies around the world. And okay, we were slow to start, but now in the last 1 year, it's gathered momentum. So it looks like not a bad year for the world, barring some surprises like a major war or something. But otherwise, it looks interesting. And for India, as I said right in the beginning, it'll continue to be one of the fastest growing economies in the world.